Bitcoin is taking a bit of a tumble. Social media is going crazy. So I thought I would jump on to do this emergency video for you guys to talk about the current price action and what is actually going on. I was just about to jump into bed, but I figured whilst the panic is in the market, we need to be here. So if you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I'm not wasting time today. I'm getting right into the TA. You need to do your job. Hit that like button, hit subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Let's go and talk about the Bitcoin price action to start with. Okay, so as we can see, Bitcoin is currently sitting at around 97,800 after dropping from where was the high. The high was sitting at about 102,000. This was a chart analysis that I posted for my Discord, also posted it on Twitter. So if you're not following me on Twitter, be sure to do that because that's where I do a lot of my updates. Right here, I did a post talking about the 3 different entries you could have got for a short position. Not that I'm recommending you short in this market, just pointing out the facts based on TA. But let's talk about this price action since the last video I did, which I think it was only yesterday actually. Yesterday, I explained to you this false move week beginning, and at the time I filmed the video, we were in this retracement here, and I said to you that I was expecting another move up. As you can see, we got that. And I gave you a few warnings. I said to watch for the session changeovers for a hint of a change in direction, and if we don't get it between Asia to UK or UK to US, to also watch out for it on Tuesday. And so that has played out now. That is what is happening. So you can see here on my notes on the chart, the main reason for expecting a short was the timing, session changeovers on a Monday, and if we don't get it then Tuesday, usually quite early on, but not always. And so in this case, what we got was this here, which is called a final damage M formation. It's where the second peak is actually higher than the first peak, but the point of it is to spike up just that little bit higher to stop out anyone who actually shorted and were actually correct, but their stop loss was too tight. So the shorts got wiped out. Any pending longs above that area were triggered on this stop hunt. Any longs in these rises here that didn't close would now be wiped out. And following that damage there, we went into this consolidation, which presented the second setup, which is the multi-session M right here, where it's an M formation inside of the Asia consolidation. I'm getting a bit high tech now, but you can just trust that that's the method there. So Asia range here, with Asia, we expect an extension around 2 a.m. New York. We got exactly that with this candle that closes an inverted hammer. Then we pull away from that. We came back to the UK session, which tried to repeat the level but couldn't break it. That's bearish. So that's your second hint there to enter a short position. Obviously that one played out. The final one is when you get a breakdown below the 50 EMA with strength and then price either retests or consolidates under the 50 EMA. There's a third entry there. Initially the target is the high of the week. So that's down here at 98,949. Obviously we're already below that, but that target alone gave a 3.8 to 1 risk to reward on the first entry. Second one was 11.6. So that was the best one actually. And the third one was an 8.6, but we're still going. Those are the risk to reward just to the high of the week. So now we have to reassess. I'm going to take all of this off my chart so that we can reassess what's going on now. Where do we think this bleed might end? The first thing I want to say to you is I know a lot of people are looking to try and pick the bottom and long it back already. This is not going to stop bleeding out whilst the rest of the market continues to bleed out. So the first thing you need to be watching is S&P, NASDAQ, and also looking at what the DXY is doing too. And so we can see on this chart right here, this is the S&P, that's still breaking down. This is on the 1 hour chart. So this is the new candle that's opened at the time that I'm filming this, and it's not reclaiming anything from the initial dump. So until this stops bleeding out, I would continue to expect further downside in crypto as well. The same goes for the NASDAQ, although like I said, it's only 20 minutes into this candle as I'm filming this, so it may turn around eventually. Just need to keep an eye. We're looking for it to consolidate, but even once it consolidates, we want to see it then change trend after that. So there's a bit of work to do. There's no jumping into anything immediately right now. It's just a wait and see. If we have a look at the DXY, it gave a beautiful W formation right here off its low of the week, and it's broken its center peak. So DXY is looking rather bullish, and that is because of the news that just came out, which was the ISM services PMI and the JOLTS job openings. Both of these results that just came out, that's pretty much when the market dumped. They're good for the DXY, not great for the market. So that's why I'm saying to you, don't expect Bitcoin to just bounce or your cryptos to just bounce immediately. You need to be looking at the general market and see see when they stop bleeding out as well before you go and make any silly decisions in crypto. In the last 24 hours, nearly $400 million worth of liquidation, so a lot of damage has been done. But we need to see where there are any potential dip buyers waiting currently, because that might give us a hint of where the price might settle. Now, there may have been some here that already got picked up. If they have, they're gone now, so I can't really tell you too much about that. We can have a look at the actual footprint within the candle though, to have a look at who was the most aggressive buyers and sellers. So what we can see here when we analyze this is this candle right here. This is on the 4-hour chart. So the candle that caused the big move down, we did have some aggressive buying right at the top of that candle, which is not great. That shows that there was a big interest in trying to defend that level. However, the sellers eventually took over and we just came right back down. So when we have a look to the bottom of the candle, we actually still do have fairly aggressive buyers, but the sellers were more aggressive towards the end of the candle. Now, the only reason that wick stopped there is because we ran out of buyers. If you can see right here, it's kind of hard to show you, but right here there's a 0 on the green side. That means there were no more buyers. So if the market's dumping, if sellers are selling, they can only sell if there's a buyer on the other side. So once they run out of buyers on the other side, the price can't continue down because there's no one to buy. So that's why we have that wick there currently. That's the sort of thing that we want to keep an eye out for. If you know how to use heat maps, we want to keep an eye out for that. We also want to now see the green and the red side, who remains aggressive now that that damage is done. So if we're looking at the current candle now, the sellers are still fairly aggressive. Like it's a bit of a 50-50 in the middle of the candle, which would explain why we currently have a doji. But like again, you know, we're only 25 minutes into the 4-hour candle. But at this point in time, it's pretty much this is a battle zone to hold the area. And really all that's telling us is that we need more time. So let's have a look at targets. If the bears continue to win this and drive price down further, we got some zones below price. We got somewhere around the 96K region, give or take $200. If it gets much worse than that, which I'm hoping it's not, but I'm just giving you these levels in case, because I am going to bed, so there won't be any more updates on Twitter. 91,400 and 90,600, and we still have 88 as well, which I think I've pointed out on this channel, but there is still the 73.3. Not saying I think we're going to go there overnight or anything like that, but again, like I said, I'm just pointing out major levels that are waiting. We do that to be aware of them. However, market structure always tells us what to take action on. We don't have seriously aggressive shorts above price, probably because they just got what they wanted right now. So there may not be too much of an interest to bring price down too much further. We've got 98,500, but that's not a high level, and it also might just cause a range now. So generally what happens here, if we go out to the 4-hour time frame, actually maybe the 1 hour, yeah, you can see it here clearly. So generally what tends to happen with price action is when you have a fast move like this causes an imbalance in the books. So it means that because the price moves so aggressively, that one side of the orders was completely wiped out, and so the other side of the orders like can't be filled. Like I said to you, for every buyer has to be a seller, every seller has to be a buyer. So one side gets wiped out, and therefore you have an imbalance in the books, and that has to be rebalanced before you can move on. Why does it have to be rebalanced? Because if it doesn't, then every single time that you return to this area, it's going to be a fast move. And that means you would know that, you would learn that, you would know that, and you'd know to take the trade. Pretty much one of the reasons why I knew to take this short, even though if you've been watching this channel, I have not been recommending to short this whole time. This was one that I did sort of hint to my Discord community. You might want to consider opening a short. Right here I said you could look for conservative entry shorts and probably also close or take more profits on your longs depending on your reason for the trade. At the time that I did that, the price action was like this on the 15-minute time frame. So we were just ranging and the breakdown hadn't happened yet. So the reason I said that, I'm going to use a 15-minute time frame because I have it all marked. The reason I said maybe that is because level 3 was massively aggressive. You'll be aware of that because it was only yesterday. It was a huge move and it was fast. We have vector candles lots of volume, all that kind of stuff. Then we went into a range, then we had the stop hunt move. Now, if you understand that theory of the order book imbalance and the fact that it has to rebalance until the point that it does rebalance, every time price returns to that area, it's going to be a fast move. And so we have this saying here at TTC where we say fast up, fast down, consolidate to rebalance. So that would be the next part that we would be expecting. Once this bleed is over, we're going to expect price to range for a while, potentially be boring. It might range like this. It might look like it's a bear flag for some period of time. Then we have to reassess whether that ranging creates a new trend or does it create a bear flag and we head further down. So that's going to take a while. It might take a day or two for that to happen. I will most likely be doing an update before that range finishes, we hope. But that consolidation there that happens after the fast up, fast down is what rebalances the books. So the reason we were able to get this fast move off the news event is because the books were already thin there. So now what will happen is if we do settle around here, we're at the low of the day now, which is a pretty good area to kind of settle. But if we do, maybe over the next couple of days, we might retrace, not necessarily 100% guaranteed, but we might retrace. And if we do, this vector candle right here is going to become our area of interest. We want to see what happens in that zone, because if the price consolidates back to that zone, it's going to have rebalanced this entire area. And if we see weakness there, it may then mean that that is also a bear flag where we would expect continued downside. If we draw fibs on that, you'll see it's between the 50 to the 61.8. So that's going to be a really good area of confluence, not to mention the 200 EMA, 50 EMA. It's just everything juicy. So that's about 99,700 to 100,800. Now, the other thing that it could do if the final damage is done and they don't need to do anything is we change structure from here. But even still, if that were to happen, you're not really going to be confident that the damage was done and we're bullish again until this higher low right here. So we have to create the first low, which is potentially in now. Don't know, because I'm filming this way too early to know if this move to the downside is over. But from there, we'll make some attempted recovery, and after that, we'll create a higher low. Then we need to create the higher high. Following that, another higher low will confirm a change in trend, and that the liquidations were all done, the damage was done, and we're back to normal business. So as you can see from those two explanations, it's going to take time now. So chill out. You know, I don't think anyone should make decisions whilst price is already in a fast move. If you didn't make your decision prior to this, now you just have to wait. And eventually the price will settle somewhere. That's when you reassess the price action, and that's when you can make a good decision moving forward. Now guys, do me a favor. If you've enjoyed this emergency video and you got some value out of it, consider joining Zoomex. The link is in the description down below. We have these giveaways still going on, but they are going to end soon. And these are exclusive using the link in the description of this video. It also gives you trading fee discounts. And with that link, you can get access to our free Discord, where you would have seen that post that I showed you with the final damage information with enough time for you to make your trade decision. So if you missed out, if you just got burnt, that is your reason to end up in our Discord. Whether you decide to become a full member and get access to our courses, the website is linked down below for that, or you just want to come into the free side, it gets you that one step closer to our analysis. When there's time sensitive stuff, it goes in there to the private members first. So consider becoming a private member. Zoomex also is a non-KYC exchange, and you can trade coin futures on there, meaning that you can take leverage positions when the time is right, like maybe not right now, but you can take leverage positions on Bitcoin, on Ethereum, on a few altcoins as well. And so if you're wanting to accumulate those altcoins, then using something like a low leverage, it settles in that coin. So you're accumulating more of it as you trade with it as well. Now you also have normal futures and spot and everything like that. So the link is down below for that. And also follow me on Twitter. Don't just go there and search my name, because there are hundreds of fake ones out there. Again, in the description of this video is the links to my official social media. There is a free Telegram. If you decide to join the free Telegram, know that scammers are probably going to message you and pretend they're either myself or they're from my team. It won't be true. We will never DM you on any social media ever. The bull market, this is going to get even worse. You have to be prepared for that. So the moral of the story is let the price settle. It's doing what it's doing. I've given you some targets to watch out for in case it does still bleed. Watch the S&P, watch the NASDAQ, watch the DXY. We're waiting for the S&P and NASDAQ to bottom out at around the same time crypto bottoms out. Then we're going to be looking for that retracement with weakness for a hint of further downside, or we're going to look for the change in trend to let us know enough damage was done. Now we can continue on. If you got value, please smash the like button. And also please leave me a comment down below because I need real comments to outdo the fake bot comments that are hurting my channel.